All right, folks, grab your popcorn and get ready, because it's time for the ultimate fizzy face-off, Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. In one corner, we've got the classic Coca-Cola, the drink that's been around longer than your grandma's dance moves, since 1886 to be exact. It's the reigning champ, holding a solid 43.7% of the US soda market. Yep, that's a lot of Coke. And in the other corner, the scrappy underdog, Pepsi, the drink that's all like, hey, I'm fun too, and rocking a solid 24.1% share of the carbonated market. Now let's take a behind-the-scenes look at how these two fizzy icons go from their syrupy beginnings to the carbonated legends we all know and love. We'll see how these bubbly titans are made, bottled, and shipped to fridges everywhere. But hold on, it's not all just bubbles and sugar. We've got the Pepsi versus Cola war coming up next, and trust us, things get fizzy. The drinking war, Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. Welcome to the Cola Wars, the fizzy showdown that's been bubbling over for over a century. Picture this, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, born in the late 1800s, each trying to dominate the soft drink world. But it wasn't until the 70s that things got real. Pepsi dropped the famous taste test challenge, and boom, Pepsi wins the blind taste test. Coca-Cola's reaction? New Coke. Spoiler, that was a disaster. Fast forward to the 80s and beyond, and the real battle wasn't just about soda, it was about celebrity power. Pepsi got Michael Jackson, Coca-Cola grabbed Elton John. It was a pop culture showdown on every screen. Meanwhile, both brands were popping up in films like Back to the Future and E.T. Talk about star power. Today, the war continues, but now it's all about likes and digital ads. Pepsi's got the revenue lead, but Coca-Cola's not backing down with its massive ad spend. In the end, the Cola Wars are less about soda and more about who's cooler, and both brands have proved they're legendary. Part 1, Pepsi. As Coca-Cola stumbled with New Coke, Pepsi wasn't just sitting back. No, they were out there making moves and shaking things up, turning the Cola Wars into a full-blown cultural battle. So what's Pepsi's secret? Let's head over to their factory and see how they keep the fizz alive, and maybe stir up a little friendly rivalry along the way. All right, before we dive into the world of Pepsi's fizz and bubbles, let's see how well I know this legendary drink. Ready for a quick quiz? Quiz. Question 1. What was the original name for Pepsi? A. Brad's Drink, B. Pepsi Cola, C. Caleb Cola. The drink's name was changed to Pepsi Cola in 1903. This was due to the fact that it contained the digestive enzyme pepsin in cola nuts. Its creator, Caleb Bradham, wished to create a delicious fountain drink to aid digestion and boost energy. Question 2. In 1975, the Pepsi Challenge was introduced to compete with Coca-Cola. What kind of contest did they have? A. Both drinks would compete in who would sell more at the World Series. B. Competitors would see who could drink the most of either. C. Blindfolded participants took a taste test. A participant would be blindfolded and drink a glass of both drinks and decide which one they liked more. Most of these people chose Pepsi. The Pepsi company even released commercials with the results. Question 3. From the 1930s to 1950s, Pepsi's slogan was "Pepsi Cola hits the spot." A. 1 true. B. False. After the successful sales of Pepsi, this slogan was used in radio, motion picture, and television. The jingle was used several times over and contained different lyrics. How'd you do? Now let's head over to the factory and check out the bubbly action. Ingredients and flavor development. All right, let's talk about the magic that happens behind every bottle of Pepsi. You know that crisp, refreshing taste you can't resist? Well, it's not just sugar and bubbles. There's a whole science going on. First up, let's talk ingredients. Pepsi's key players: high fructose corn syrup, the sweet stuff, a splash of citrus for that zing, and of course, carbonation. Without those fizzy bubbles, we'd all just be sipping sugar water, right? But the real secret is Pepsi's flavor engineering. Think of it as the world's most refreshing recipe. It's all about striking the perfect balance between sweetness and acidity, making sure it's sweet enough to tickle your taste buds, but not so sweet that you're left with that annoying sugar overload. And that little hint of citrus, it adds a refreshing twist, so you never feel weighed down after a sip. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Pepsi's flavor designers are basically brain hackers. Research shows that Pepsi's unique blend of sweetness and acidity lights up those pleasure centers in your brain. Yup, just like chocolate. So when you take that first sip, your brain is like, yes, more of that. And before you know it, you're reaching for a second can, or let's be real, a third. Factory automation and production line. Welcome to the Pepsi factory journey and see the magic unfold, where every step of production is handled by machines and robots that run like well-oiled machines. Pun intended. First up, bottle cleaning. Imagine a super fast car wash, but instead of a car, it's your favorite bottle. Both plastic and glass bottles go through an ultra-speedy cleaning process where they're blasted with hot water, scrubbed clean, and inspected by high-tech sensors. Now on to the inspection process. Here's where things get serious. High-speed cameras scan every single bottle for imperfections. These cameras can spot even the smallest dent or flaw, and if they do, that bottle is rejected faster than you can say, Pepsi challenge. No bottle gets passed without being checked. It's like the factory has a whole army of robot eyes making sure every bottle is flawless before it gets filled with that sweet, sweet Pepsi. Once the bottles are cleaned and inspected, it's time for the filling process. Enter the robots that have some serious skills. They fill each bottle with the perfect mix of Pepsi syrup and fizzy carbonated water. These machines work with such precision that they can pour thousands of bottles per minute, and guess what? Not a single spill. They know exactly how much of syrup and carbonation each bottle needs, ensuring a perfectly balanced drink every time. Next, capping and sealing. After the filling process, the bottles zoom over to the capping station, where machines cap each bottle tightly. This step is crucial because it locks in the carbonation, keeping that satisfying fizz intact. Think of it as the final, snug hug for your Pepsi bottle. No one wants flat soda, right? And let's not forget about the resealable bottles. Some of those Pepsi bottles come with special caps that allow you to reseal them after your first sip. This clever feature keeps the carbonation and freshness intact, so you can enjoy Pepsi over multiple servings without the fizz dying off after the first one. Packaging process. The packaging process at the Pepsi factory is where things really get fun. Once the bottles are filled and sealed, it's time for some serious branding magic. Labeling happens next, with each bottle getting its iconic Pepsi label. Because let's face it, a Pepsi bottle without that logo just wouldn't be the same. Then, the arrangement begins. And here's where the robots really shine. They swoop in with robotic arms, scooping up those bottles like pros and arranging them into crates or cartons. It's like a robot dance party, but instead of music, it's all about making sure each bottle gets safely packed up for shipping. And no, they don't just stop there. Before any Pepsi bottle leaves the factory, There's a final inspection. Machines go over every bottle, checking the labels, caps, and packaging for any defects. If something's off, that bottle's out of here. No room for mistakes when it comes to that perfect Pepsi experience. Once everything's good to go, the bottles are boxed up, labeled, and stacked onto pallets, ready to be shipped out across the country. It's an assembly line of perfection, ensuring that every bottle you grab is as fresh and fizzy as the last. Sustainability. Pepsi's making big moves in sustainability with its packaging. Black bottles look cool but are tricky to recycle, so they're working on making them more eco-friendly. Then there's the return of refillable glass bottles, which preserve carbonation and reduce waste through a closed-loop system. Just return the bottle and it gets cleaned and refilled. Pepsi is also pushing for recycled plastic bottles, despite the challenge of black plastic in recycling. They're researching better ways to handle it. These efforts help Pepsi reduce waste and lower its environmental impact, all while keeping that signature taste we love. Cheers to a greener future. Part 2, Coca. We've just explored Pepsi's rise, but now let's shift focus to its rival, Coca-Cola. A century of competition has kept Coke in the race, constantly matching Pepsi's moves with its own iconic strategies. Let's take a look at how Coca-Cola has fought back in this legendary cola war. The secret recipe. So picture this. It's 1886, and a pharmacist named John Stith Pemberton is trying to make a miracle headache cure. Spoiler alert, he didn't cure headaches, but he did invent the drink that would conquer the world, Coca-Cola. Fast forward to 1888, and Asa Candler swoops in, buys the formula for just $2,300, someone got a deal, and turns it into a global superstar. But here's where it gets really interesting. The secret recipe is locked up tighter than your grandma's cookie jar. Only 2 people at Coca-Cola know the formula, and it's kept in a super secret vault at the World of Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta. You can visit the vault, but don't even think about sneaking a peek. No one's spilling the beans. The secret's what makes Coke, well, Coke. And let's be real, who doesn't love a little mystery with their fizz? Water treatment. Water might seem like the boring part of Coca-Cola, but trust me, it's a superstar. It makes up about 90% of the magic, and it's treated like royalty. First, it's scooped up from on-site wells, no fancy bottled water here. Then it gets a full-on spa treatment. We're talking sanitation and a high-tech nanofiltration process to make sure it's cleaner than your grandma's kitchen. This helps ensure every sip of Coke tastes just as crisp and refreshing, no matter if you're in the Sahara or the Arctic. It's basically a global taste guarantee. Syrup preparation. All right, let's talk syrup, the secret sauce behind your Coke. Picture this, forklifts roll in, but instead of crates of gold, they're loaded with plastic jugs full of Coca-Cola's top secret syrup. No guards, just the goods. Then, this syrup gets a nice, refreshing bath as it's mixed with water in a big old mixing unit, creating the magic that's about to bubble up into your bottle. But wait, it gets sweeter, literally. For classic Coca-Cola, high fructose corn syrup is added to give it that signature sugary goodness. For Diet Coke and Coke Zero, well, aspartame's here to keep it light and fizzy. With the perfect blend, the stage is set for some serious carbonation action. It's like a flavor party, and you're invited. Carbonation. Did you know that the fizz The magical sound and sensation that makes you feel like you're about to have a party in your mouth comes from carbon dioxide, CO2 gas. This is where the real magic happens. After the syrup mixture is perfectly blended and ready to go, it heads straight to the carbonation station. Here it meets its bubbly best friend, CO2. This is where the hiss comes from. You know that satisfying sound when you crack open a Coke? Yep, that's the CO2 bubbling away, injecting that signature fizz into your drink. It's like the carbonation is giving the drink a little pep talk. Go on, make their taste buds tingle. Break time fun fact. Before coming to the next step, don't forget to take a break. And here are some fun Coca-Cola facts that'll make you smile. First off, Coca-Cola is 130 years younger than your grandma's secret recipe. And it's the second most recognized word in the world, right after okay. Imagine that. Imagine. Coca-Cola also helped shape Santa's look. That jolly guy in the red suit with the white beard? Yup, thanks to Coke. And speaking of Coke's reach, 1.9 billion servings are sold every day, which is a lot more than the 9 drinks they sold on their first day in 1886. They've been the longest Olympic partner since 1928, hydrating athletes for decades. Plus, Coke's been doing good too, helping revitalize over 600 schools in India through their Support My School campaign. So, next time you crack open a Coke, remember, it's more than just a drink. It's a little bit of magic, history, and good vibes all in one. Bottle cleaning and inspection. Here's where the bottles get their spa treatment. Even though they arrive clean, they still need a little extra TLC before getting filled. Enter the bottle rinsing machine, basically the Beyoncé of bottle cleaning. It flips the bottles upside down, gives them a good rinse with filtered water, and makes sure they're sparkling like a new penny. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no! After their bath, these bottles go through a high-tech inspection system. Think of it as a robot detective squad, scanning for any cracks, chips, or sneaky defects that might mess up the vibe. If a bottle's not up to snuff, it's quickly kicked off the line like a bad reality show contestant. Only the best bottles make it to the next step. Labeling, filling, and capping. Now that we've uncovered the secret syrup and fizzy magic, let's dive into how each bottle gets its signature look and perfect seal. First, labeling. Each bottle gets its iconic Coca-Cola label thanks to a hot melt modular labeling machine. This robot makes sure every label is perfectly aligned, no crooked logos allowed. Next, filling. The syrup is kept at a precise 41 degrees Fahrenheit to 43 degrees Fahrenheit, ensuring the perfect pour without foaming. The bottles are filled with exactly the right amount of Coke, and then sealed to lock in all that fizz. Finally, capping. A machine uses compressed air to send caps flying onto the bottles, sealing them tightly. Glass bottles get a shiny aluminum crown, crimped on with precision. It's all about getting those bottles just right, so each sip of Coca-Cola is perfect. Quality checks and final temperature control. Once the syrupy goodness fills the bottles and cans, the next step is all about making sure everything's perfect. High-tech inspections kick into gear, with cameras and sensors checking fill levels, seal tightness, and cleanliness. Basically, every bottle and can is treated like royalty. If something's off, like a wonky seal or a dirty label, it's out of there faster than a bottle of Coke in a hot summer sun. Before the final packaging, the bottles get a quick warm-up to room temperature. This keeps them from sweating when they're wrapped up. Then they get a last check to make sure there are no impurities or defects. It's the final step to guarantee every bottle is as fresh and bubbly as the first sip, ready for you to enjoy. Packaging, bottles and cans. When it comes to packaging, Coca-Cola bottles get the royal treatment. After being filled with that iconic syrup, they're wrapped in cardboard for protection, kind of like putting on a cozy jacket before a big adventure. Then they get shrink-wrapped, ensuring they stay snug and safe for their journey ahead. Cans, on the other hand, are carefully packed into boxes with just enough room to keep them from rolling around. And to top it off, each box is shrink-wrapped too, like a neat little gift that's ready for delivery. So next time you grab a Coke, just remember, it's not just the drink that's perfectly packaged. The whole process is a carefully choreographed dance to keep it fresh and secure until it reaches your hands. Sustainability. Coca-Cola isn't just about popping open a cold one anymore. It's got a whole green makeover happening. They're out there saving water, planting trees, and swapping old-school fridges for energy-efficient ones like it's no big deal. It's like the superhero of sodas, but instead of a cape, it's made of recycled plastic. By 2030, they want all their packaging to be recyclable, and they're already making big strides with bottles that are practically made of recycled material. Plus, they're teaming up with everyone from WWF to some serious venture capital folks to make the world a better place, one fizzy sip at a time. So next time you crack a Coke, you can feel good about it, like you're saving the planet with every bubble. Health and nutrition, Pepsi and Coca. Pepsi and Coca-Cola are practically twins when it comes to health, both packing around 150 calories and 39 to 41 grams of sugar per 12-ounce serving. Pepsi has a tiny bit more sugar, and it also gives you 38 milligrams of caffeine, while Coke offers 34 milligrams. But honestly, the differences are so small, it's more about which flavor you prefer than any major health benefits. Neither of them will win you any wellness awards, but they'll definitely satisfy your fizzy cravings. Both are acidic, which can lead to tooth erosion over time, so sipping in moderation is key. If you're looking for a healthier choice, the real winners are sparkling water or drinks with no added sugar. But hey, if you're going for that fizzy fix, enjoy the ride. Just remember to brush your teeth afterward and maybe hit the gym to burn off those extra calories. And there you have it, folks. Everything you never knew you needed to know about the legendary battle between Pepsi and Coca-Cola. From the secret formulas to the fizzy magic that makes them both so irresistible, we've uncovered it all. Remember, both are packed with bubbles, sweetness, and a lot of caffeine, so sip wisely. And if you're ever caught in a soda debate with friends, just smile, take a sip, and say, "Hey, I'm just here for the fizz." Before you rush off to grab your next fizzy fix, here's the real question. Coke or Pepsi? Drop your choice in the comments and tell us why. Are you Team Classic Coke, or does Pepsi's sweetness win your heart? We're all about those soda opinions. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on more epic showdowns. Cheers to the bubbles.